Donald Trump owes at least part of his success last week to the feeling by many Americans that Washington does not serve their interests. And whether you supported him or opposed him, admit it, his proposal for draining the swamp does have some serious appeal. One of his ideas has been around for a long time, but gotten nowhere.
If I'm elected president, I will push for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress.
He's calling for a 6-year max for the House, 12 for the Senate. There's little doubt that Congress has become a group of firmly entrenched politicians. Re-election rates in the House are, get this, 97%. They're 90% in the Senate. And for those who worry that President Trump won't be able to work with those who worked against him in this term limits campaign, check out what you could see very soon. That's right, Marjorie Egan and the president-elect campaigning together for term limits. Here's part of their argument that incumbents have an almost insurmountable advantage in campaign cash. In last week's election, sitting senators had more than an 8-to-1 advantage in money and representatives a 7-to-1 lead. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell dismissed Trump's and Marjorie's proposal, arguing, "I would say we have term limits now. They're called elections." You know, I have not been a McConnell fan since he pledged to do all he could to make sure Obama was a one-term president, barely minutes after he became majority leader. But on this, here's my view. I would say we have term limits now. They're called elections. So McConnell and I are now one. With short tenures and legislators barely having time to develop serious expertise on an issue like the legendary Ted Kennedy did, who crafts legislation? The people embedded in the building forever, lobbyists. But Trump's got a plan for them, too. He's focused on what happens after members of Congress leave office.
I'm going to ask Congress to institute its own 5-year ban on lobbying by former members of Congress and their staffs. It's enough.
Now, that'll probably be met with eye rolls and inaction by sitting members of both houses. But speaking of strange bedfellows, here's a troika you might see supporting this proposal. And here's why. According to a recent study by Politico, of the 352 people who left Congress alive in the last 8 years, almost half have joined the influence industry as lobbyists, strategic consultants, and other positions focused on affecting policy decisions. Now, of course, those who were skeptical of Trump's anti-lobbyist animus gained some credibility last Sunday night.
Your own transition team is filled with lobbyists.
It's the only people you have down there.
But in the words of another strange bedfellow, Barack Obama, at least on some issues, we should all give Donald Trump a chance. What do you think? Email us, tweet us, share your thoughts.